The knock that changed everything. The rain came down in heavy sheets, pounding the windshield of Ethan Cole's truck like fists from the sky. He squinted through the blur, wipers screeching across the glass, struggling to see the road ahead. His 7-year-old daughter, Lily, slept soundly in the back seat, hugging her stuffed rabbit tightly. Her face was peaceful, even as thunder cracked overhead like a whip. Ethan was late, again. He cursed under his breath as he turned onto the dark, narrow road leading to their small rented home on the edge of town. The day had been long, 10 hours, fixing busted plumbing, broken furnaces and clogged drains, and his knees ached. Being a single dad, working 2 jobs and raising a child alone wasn't easy, but he never complained. Not out loud, at least. Life hadn't exactly gone as planned, but Lily was worth every bit of it. As he approached his house, something odd caught his eye, a figure standing by his porch, drenched in the downpour, not moving. A woman. He slowed down, heart thudding. Who would be out here in this weather in the middle of nowhere? He parked the truck and stepped out, pulling his coat over his head. "Hey!" he called out, approaching cautiously. "You okay?" The woman turned slowly, her face barely visible under her soaked hood. She looked young, mid-20s maybe, but something about her eyes struck Ethan. They weren't wide with fear or pleading for help. They looked haunted. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice shaky but clear. "I didn't mean to scare you. I need a place to stay. Just for tonight." Ethan hesitated. Everything in him screamed to be cautious. You don't let strangers in, not when you have a kid inside, not these days. But something about the way she stood there, trembling, soaked to the bone, and yet holding herself with quiet dignity, made him pause. She wasn't begging. She wasn't desperate. She was waiting. "I have a daughter," he said firmly. "I don't take risks with her." "I understand," she replied softly. "I wouldn't either." Then she turned as if to walk away. No anger, no protest. Just acceptance. "Wait," Ethan cursed himself even as the word left his mouth. "You can stay in the shed out back. It's dry, has a space heater. I'll bring you a blanket." The woman nodded, not meeting his eyes. "Thank you." Later that night, after Lily was tucked in, Ethan walked to the shed with a blanket and a cup of tea. The woman was sitting on the floor, arms wrapped around her knees. She stood when he entered, eyes wary. "I didn't get your name," he said. She paused. "Anna," he handed her the cup. "I'm Ethan." "Thank you for this," she said. "Really, I'll leave in the morning." "You on the run?" he asked bluntly. She stiffened. "I don't mean to pry," he said quickly, "but I've seen a lot of people pass through. Usually when someone shows up in the rain, no bags, no car, and no explanation, well, there's more to the story." Anna looked down at the cup. "There is, but not the kind you think." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Something about Anna gnawed at him. She wasn't strung out, didn't look abused, and she didn't ask for money. She didn't act like someone hiding from the law. So what was she hiding from? The next morning, she was gone. At first, Ethan thought maybe he'd imagined her, but the folded blanket and empty cup in the shed said otherwise. Life went on. He returned to work. Lily returned to school. The shed stayed empty until 4 nights later, another storm, another knock. Ethan opened the door slowly, and there she was again, soaked, shivering, silent. "I shouldn't have come back," she said. "Then why did you?" Anna didn't answer. He stepped aside, and for reasons he didn't understand, let her in. Days passed. She didn't stay in the shed this time. She slept on the couch, helped around the house, made Lily laugh with silly stories and gentle songs. She was quiet, respectful, and never stayed too long in one room. Ethan found himself watching her when she didn't notice, trying to solve her puzzle. Then one afternoon, Lily came home from school with a fever. High, scary high. Ethan rushed her to the clinic, panic in his chest. Anna went with them, sitting beside Lily, cooling her forehead, whispering to her like she'd known her forever. When the nurse finally came out and told Ethan it was a viral infection, nothing serious, he almost collapsed from relief. "You're a good father," Anna said that night as they sat on the porch, watching the stars. "I try." "She's lucky," she added. "Where's your family?" he asked. "I don't have one anymore." He looked at her, waiting. She didn't elaborate. 1 week later, Ethan returned from work early and heard voices inside the house. Laughing, Anna and Lily were playing cards at the table. It was the most relaxed he'd seen Anna. He smiled, but that night everything changed. He woke up at 2 a.m. to a noise, a car engine. He looked out the window and saw Anna slipping into the passenger side of a dark sedan. The car pulled away. Gone. No. Goodbye. 3 days passed, then a week. Lily asked about Anna every morning. Ethan didn't know what to say. He tried calling the clinic where he thought Anna might have once worked, just a hunch, but no one by that name had ever been employed there. Then, one night, another knock. Not Anna. A man in a black suit stood at the door, holding a leather folder. "Mr. Cole?" "Yes. I'm here regarding a woman named Anna Blake. May I come in?" Ethan's stomach turned. "What is this about? She left something behind, something you need to see." The man laid a single photograph on the table. Ethan's heart stopped. The photo was Anna, but not as he knew her. She was standing next to a man in military uniform, holding a baby. Her face was different, softer, happier, full of life. "This was taken 7 years ago," the man said, "in Syria." "What's going on?" Ethan asked, voice low. She was presumed dead after an explosion, but she survived. Went off the grid for years, until now. Ethan stared at the photo. "Why are you telling me this?" The man closed the folder. "Because you're the only person she contacted after all this time, and because she left something for your daughter." The box beneath the floorboards. Ethan stared at the man across the table, heart thudding like a hammer in his chest. The rain outside had begun again, tapping against the window like nervous fingers. Lily was asleep in her room. The house felt too quiet for what was being said. "She left something for my daughter," Ethan repeated, his voice low, tight with confusion and caution. "Why?" The man gave him a look that was unreadable, part sympathy, part something else. "She didn't say why. Only that when the time was right, you'd understand." Ethan frowned. "Time for what? Who are you?" The man reached into his coat and pulled out a card. Plain, white, no company logo, just a name and number. "David Marcus, U.S. Department of Defense." Ethan didn't take the card. She was military. Intelligence. Deep cover. She vanished during a mission nearly 7 years ago. Everyone thought she was killed in an explosion on the Syrian. A border. She surfaced only recently, here in your town. Ethan folded his arms. "So she was hiding." "She wasn't hiding," Marcus said. "She was recovering. After the explosion, she was presumed dead. We believe she suffered severe trauma, physical and emotional. She stayed off the grid until she met you." Ethan stood up, pacing now. "Why me? Why my kid?" "We don't know." Marcus reached into his leather folder and slid an envelope across the table. "What's this?" "She asked me to give this to you if anything happened to her." Ethan stared at the envelope. It was unmarked, except for his name, handwritten in bold letters. The handwriting was familiar, quiet, strong. His fingers trembled slightly as he opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper, folded neatly. "Ethan, by the time you read this, I'll be gone again. I'm sorry. I never meant to stay as long as I did or to get close. But Lily, she reminded me of something I thought I'd lost forever. Her laughter healed something in me. Your kindness, your patience, they gave me peace I hadn't felt in years. But I can't stay. There are people looking for me." Not bad people. Not exactly, but I made choices a long time ago, dangerous ones. There's something in your house, beneath the floorboards in the old bedroom, second plank from the wall. I hid it there in case I had to run. You may never fully understand why. I came to you. But please know this. What's in that box could change your life, or ruin it. Handle it carefully. Protect Lily. Anna Ethan sat frozen for several seconds. The words blurred. Marcus watched him carefully. You going to look? Ethan hesitated. Do I need a warrant for this? Marcus shook his head. I'm not here officially. I'm here because she trusted me. Ethan nodded, stood up, and walked down the narrow hallway to the old spare bedroom. They rarely used it. It was mostly storage. An old mattress on the floor, a dresser with one broken drawer. The walls were faded blue, cracked near the ceiling. He crouched near the far wall, brushing dust aside. Second plank from the wall, he tapped, hollow. With a flathead screwdriver from the toolbox, he pried it up. A metal box, no bigger than a lunch pail, lay inside. Locked. Scratched. Marcus was behind him now, silent. Ethan lifted it out slowly. It was heavier than it looked. I'm not opening it here, Ethan said. Not with my daughter in the house. Marcus nodded. Fair. They drove to Ethan's shop, a small garage he rented on the outskirts of town. It was past midnight now, the roads quiet and slick with rain. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Ethan set the box on the workbench. It took several tries to pick the old padlock open. Inside was not what he expected. There was no money, no documents, no weapons, just a silver flash drive, a weathered photograph, a thin folded map with several points marked in red ink, and at the very bottom, a birth certificate. Ethan reached for the birth certificate first. Name of child, Lily Grace Blake. Mother, Anna Marie Blake. Father, left blank. His hands went cold. He read the certificate again. Then a third time. That's impossible, he whispered. Marcus leaned in. Is that your daughter's name? Yes, but she's mine. My wife died in childbirth. Lily is ours. Marcus's brow furrowed. Is it possible someone switched records, or that your wife wasn't who she said she was? No, Ethan said firmly. I knew her. We were married. We had photos, a life. He pulled out his phone and scrolled through old pictures. There they were. Wedding day, baby shower, hospital birth. He stopped at one, his breath caught. Marcus saw it too. Zoom in. In the background of the hospital photo, near the corner of the frame, a woman in scrubs. Face turned slightly. It was Anna. Ethan sat down hard. Back at the house, Lily stirred in her sleep. A soft breeze blew in through the cracked window. A bird chirped outside, confused by the storm. In the garage, Ethan stared at the map. There were 5 red circles. 4 crossed out, 1 remained. Where is this? Ethan asked. Marcus looked closely. Mexico, remote area. Mountains. Ethan held up the flash drive. What's on this? Only one way to find out. They plugged it into Ethan's old laptop. A folder. Labeled Project Fawn Inside, videos, dozens, one played automatically, a laboratory room, sterile, bright, a baby in a crib, cameras in every corner, then Anna's voice, soft and trembling. Day 62. Subject is developing rapidly. Motor skills advanced. For age, eye tracking exceptional, no anomalies yet. The feed jumped. Day 118. Subject responds to music. Hums back melodies, not possible at this age. Requests for further testing denied. Day 240. Request for release denied. Subject now shows signs of trauma. Night terrors. Curls away from human contact. This isn't right. I'm ending this. The video stopped. Ethan's chest rose and fell rapidly. That baby, was it Lily? Marcus didn't answer. Another video started. Anna, face bruised, blood near her temple. I'm sending her away. She's mine now. I won't let them hurt her. The feed cut out. Ethan stood slowly. Lily was part of some experiment? It looks that way. She's just a child. Marcus nodded grimly. But she may not be an ordinary one. Ethan and Marcus returned home at dawn. Lily was awake, yawning on the couch, watching cartoons. "Daddy," she said brightly, "I had a dream about Mommy." Ethan froze. "You did?" "She said she misses me, but she's proud, and she says I'll understand soon." Ethan exchanged a look with Marcus. "She said she loves Anna." Lily had never called Anna by name before. "Did you ever talk to her about Anna?" Marcus whispered. "No," Ethan said. "Never." That evening, Ethan sat alone in the shed, where Anna had first stayed. The folded blanket was still there. The cup. The silence. He pulled out the photo from the box. Anna holding a baby, her smile radiant. Had it all been a lie? No, it didn't feel like it. He remembered how Lily had clung to Anna's stories, how Anna seemed to know instinctively how to calm her, how to make her laugh. Like a mother. He closed his eyes. His life wasn't what he thought it was, but it wasn't broken either. It was just a different story, and it wasn't over yet. Later that night, Lily wandered into his room. She was clutching her stuffed rabbit. "Daddy, I saw Anna again." He sat up. "In your dream?" "No, in the backyard." Ethan's heart stopped. He ran to the window. "Nothing. She said not to be afraid," Lily whispered. "She's close." The stranger in the shadows. The night air outside Ethan's house was still. The kind of stillness that felt thick, like something was holding its breath. A faint fog had rolled in, blurring the edges of the trees at the back of the property. But Ethan couldn't tear his eyes away from the backyard. "She said she's close," Lily had whispered. He had checked every inch of the backyard. Nothing. Not a footprint in the damp grass. Not even the scent Anna used to wear. The faint lilac and ash that always lingered in the air after she passed. But his daughter's face had been calm, peaceful, like she knew. And that was what scared Ethan most. He tucked Lily back into bed, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. "Try to sleep, honey." She looked up at him, sleepy but sure. "She's watching us. Don't be scared." Ethan kissed her head and forced a smile, but his gut churned. In the living room, Marcus was sitting on the couch, elbows on knees, staring at the flash drive again. The laptop screen glowed softly. "You're not going to sleep, are you?" Ethan asked, his voice low. Marcus shook his head. "Not until I know what Project Fawn really was." "I thought those videos were it." "There's more," Marcus said. "Files inside encrypted folders. I've only scratched the surface." Ethan sighed, rubbing his forehead. "Lily saw Anna. Or she thinks she did." Marcus looked up sharply. "Are you saying she's alive?" "I don't know, but she told Lily something, that she was proud, that she was close." Marcus leaned back, silent. "I thought she was just a woman down on her luck," Ethan muttered. "Maybe running from something. I didn't care. She was good to my daughter. That was enough. But now," Marcus closed the laptop, "you're not the only one she kept secrets from." The next morning, Ethan woke to find Marcus already gone. A note sat on the kitchen table. Had to follow a lead. "Don't open the rest of the box without me. Back soon." Marcus, Ethan stared at it for a while. Then he looked at the box again. It still sat on the workbench in the garage, untouched since last night. He opened it slowly, breathing in the faint scent of dust and steel. At the very bottom, beneath the map, beneath the photo and the certificate, he found something folded tight, almost invisible between the inner lining, a worn leather patch stitched crudely around the edges. It looked like it had once been part of a jacket or a vest. On it was an emblem, a fawn with a single red eye. Underneath were 3 stitched letters, ASC. What the hell? He pulled out his phone and took a photo of it, searched the web. Nothing. Then, as he sat down at the desk in the garage, he heard a voice behind him. "You opened it." Ethan spun around. Anna stood in the doorway, soaked from the rain, alive. His breath caught in his throat. "Anna?" She looked older, tired. A scar now marked her cheek. Her hair was shorter. Her eyes carried a weight no smile could lift. "Close the door," she said gently. "Please." Ethan did. Slowly. Like if he moved too fast, she'd vanish again. "You're alive," he whispered. Anna nodded. "Not for long." He stepped forward. "What are you talking about? You disappeared. They said you were dead. You left a letter, Anna. You said there were people after you. There still are." She looked past him at the open box. "You weren't supposed to find the patch yet. What is it?" She didn't answer. He reached out, hand hovering, just above her arm. "Lily thinks she saw you in the yard." Anna's face softened. "She did." Ethan blinked. "Why didn't you come inside?" "I couldn't risk being seen. There are people watching. Marcus can't be trusted." Ethan froze. Anna stepped closer. "He's not who he says he is." "I didn't." "Give him that envelope." He took it. Ethan's head was spinning. "But he showed me the badge. The card. Fake. I know David Marcus. He died 2 years ago in Morocco." Silence. The rain had picked up again, hitting the garage roof like nails on glass. "Who is he?" Ethan asked. Anna shook her head. "Someone tied to the ASC." "That's what the patch is." Advanced Survival Coalition, a private shadow unit that operated outside government control, biological experimentation, human trials. "And Lily?" Ethan asked, his voice tight. Anna's eyes filled. "She was the first child ever born through their modified embryo program." Ethan felt like the floor was falling out from beneath him. "She's my daughter," he whispered. "She's our daughter," Anna said. "But not like other kids. Her abilities, they started showing before she turned 1. Memory retention, emotional patterning, cognitive jumps that made no sense. I ran when I realized what they were doing. I took her embryo from the lab and implanted it myself." Ethan backed away slightly, as if putting distance between him and a truth he couldn't process. "You gave her to me because I knew you would raise her with love. You were her godfather, my oldest friend. You just didn't remember. They erased your memory during the implant phase. You were part of the program, Ethan." He stumbled back against the wall. "No, that's not possible." "It is," Anna said gently. "I made sure you forgot. I wanted to protect you." For a long time, neither of them spoke. Then Anna moved closer and placed a flash drive on the table. "This one. It has everything. Every file they erased, every memory they altered, all of it. It's your choice if you want it back." Ethan looked at it like it was a live wire. "I don't know who to trust," he said finally. Anna nodded. "Start with Lily." That evening, Ethan took Lily to the park. She ran ahead, chasing birds near the benches. The wind had calmed, and the sun peeked from behind the clouds. He sat down on a bench, watching her. Anna sat next to him, hood pulled low. "She doesn't know?" Ethan asked. "She knows more than you think," Anna said. "But no, she doesn't know the science, only the love." Ethan looked at her. "What happens now?" "I leave again," Anna said quietly. "Tonight. I've been traced." "No," Ethan said firmly. "You stay. We protect her, together." Anna turned to him. "They'll kill anyone who gets in their way." "Then let them try." She gave a sad smile. "You were always brave, even before the wipe." He looked over at Lily. She was laughing, trying to balance on a log. "I don't care what they did to me, or to her. She's my daughter." Anna touched his hand. "She's ours." When they returned home, Marcus was waiting in the kitchen. He stood slowly, hands raised. "I know how this looks." "Put the gun down," Ethan said coldly. "I don't have one." Anna stepped into the light. "Liar!" Marcus smirked. You really thought you could hide from the ASC forever? You're not with the government, Ethan said. You were never trying to help. I was trying to protect the world from what she is. Ethan stepped forward. She's a child. She's a weapon. You have no idea what she's capable of. I don't care. Marcus drew a small device from his jacket. Metallic. Blinking red. Anna's eyes widened. Tracker! Marcus clicked it once. Now they're coming. Ethan lunged. The struggle was short but brutal. Marcus slammed against the fridge. Ethan hit the floor. Anna grabbed the device and smashed it under her boot. Sirens wailed in the distance. I have to go, Anna said, breathless. They'll be here in minutes. You're not going alone. You need to keep her safe. I will, but I'm not letting you disappear again. Anna kissed him. A real kiss, not rushed, not goodbye, something full of sorrow and hope. Then she was gone. Into the night. Later that night, Lily climbed into Ethan's lap. Is Anna okay? She asked. He held her close. She's the bravest person I know. Like you, he smiled. No, like you, Lily. The truth beneath everything. The wind howled outside, as if the night itself was grieving. Ethan sat in his garage, the only light coming from the single bulb hanging overhead. Lily was asleep upstairs, wrapped in blankets. Anna was gone again. But this time, not vanished without explanation. She was running again to protect them, but something was different now. Ethan wasn't the same man anymore. He had been blind, not just to Anna's pain, but to a larger truth, his own past, his connection to Project Fawn, and the future they were all now tangled in. And he had made a choice. He wasn't going to run from it anymore. He opened the laptop and inserted the second flash drive Anna had given him. A folder popped up. Ethan, recovered, memory, sequence. His hand trembled as he clicked it open. Dozens of video files appeared, some surveillance footage, some digital logs, others labeled in clinical codes. One caught his eye. Subject 117, Ethan R. Cross, pre-memory suppression interview. He clicked. The video began with a cold, metallic room. He was strapped to a chair. His face was thinner, his hair a little longer. Across from him sat Anna, wearing a lab coat, not the worn hoodie he remembered. Do you trust me? Anna asked in the video. Yes, Ethan answered, with my life. Even if you don't remember this tomorrow? Ethan hesitated, then nodded. If you say it's for Lily, I'll do it. Anna leaned forward, whispering something inaudible to the camera's mic. Then a team of masked doctors entered, and the screen went black. Ethan sat frozen. It was real. Everything. He had volunteered to protect Lily. He had agreed to let Anna wipe part of his memory. She hadn't betrayed him. She had trusted him more than anyone else, because he had asked her to, and that meant only one thing now. He had to get her back. 3 days passed. Ethan didn't hear from Anna. But strange things started happening. He noticed a black SUV parked across from Lily's school. It never moved. A package arrived with no return address. Inside was a single photo, Anna tied to a chair, blood on her cheek, a red light blinking on her collar. Underneath was a symbol, the red-eyed fawn. Then came the phone call, no caller ID, a robotic voice. We have her. You have something we need. What? Ethan demanded. The girl. Ethan's blood turned cold. You'll never get her. The call ended. He raced to the school. Lily was safe, for now. But something in her eyes told him she already knew. That night, Ethan made a plan. He pulled the old duffel bag from the attic, filled with maps, batteries, emergency phones, and a burner laptop. He hadn't remembered packing it, but his old self had prepared for this. He made Lily a peanut butter sandwich, her favorite, and wrapped it in foil. Daddy? She asked softly as he zipped up her jacket. We're going to see Anna, he said. Lily smiled. I knew you'd find her. The coordinates from the flash drive pointed to a remote facility deep in the mountains. Ethan knew it was a trap, but it was the only lead he had. He drove through the night, Lily sleeping in the back seat. His hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly they ached. Near dawn, the landscape turned harsh, jagged rocks, dense trees, fog curling across the road like smoke, and then he saw it. An old bunker camouflaged into the rock. He parked behind a ridge and woke Lily. "Listen to me carefully. You stay here, hide if anyone comes. I'll come back for you, no matter what." Lily's eyes welled with tears. "Promise?" He held her face in his hands. "I swear." Inside the bunker, silence reigned. He moved slowly, hugging the walls, following the faint hum of machines. Old memories tugged at his brain. This place wasn't unfamiliar. Somewhere deep inside, he knew these halls. Then he found her. Anna was strapped to a chair, bruised but alive. Monitors beeped nearby. Tubes ran from her arms. Ethan rushed to her side, pulling out the IVs. She gasped, her eyes fluttering open. "Ethan, don't talk," he said. "I'm getting you out." But as he turned to lift her, a voice echoed from behind him. "Well, well, look who came home." Ethan froze. A man stepped out of the shadows, wearing a white lab coat. His eyes were cold, calculating. "You don't remember me, do you?" the man asked. Ethan narrowed his eyes. "Should I? I'm Dr. Voss. I created Project Fawn, and you were my first subject." Ethan's fists clenched. "You're lying," Voss smirked. "You volunteered to be enhanced, to become the perfect father, stronger, smarter, more loyal. We designed you to raise her. I'm not a science project." "No," Voss said. "You're a guardian, and now you've outlived your usefulness." Voss snapped his fingers. Guards stormed in. Ethan raised his fists. What happened next was a blur. Pain, gunshots, screams. Ethan fought like a man possessed, like someone whose body remembered every technique, every move, even if his mind did not. He took down 3 guards before one tackled him to the ground. Anna screamed. "Lily's not here!" But Voss smiled. "She will be. Our drones traced her. She's in the car." Ethan's blood went cold, and then the power went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Alarms blared. Emergency lights blinked red. In the chaos, a small figure darted into the room. "Lily! Daddy!" Voss spun, shocked. "How?" She raised her hands. The guards froze, literally. They stopped mid-movement like statues. Ethan's jaw dropped. "Lily?" Her eyes glowed faintly. Anna whispered. She unlocked her ability. Lily turned to Voss. "You're not taking my family." Voss lunged, and then he screamed. Not in pain, but in fear. A fear so intense it dropped him to the ground. Clutching his chest, Ethan ran to her. "Lily, stop!" She blinked, and everything returned to normal. The guards dropped. Voss was unconscious. The room was silent. They escaped into the forest, Ethan carrying Anna, Lily at his side. Dawn was breaking over the hills, painting the world gold. Anna leaned her head on Ethan's shoulder. "She saved us," Ethan nodded. "She's stronger than any of us. She'll need guidance. She has it, from both of us." 3 months later, they moved far away, changed their names, found peace in a quiet coastal town. Anna opened a small clinic, helping low-income families. Ethan worked with trauma victims, using his own recovery as a path to healing others. Lily attended school like any other child, but she knew she was different, and that made her special. They had dinner on the porch every evening, laughed, argued, loved. They were a family, real, raw, undeniable. One night, Lily asked, "Why did all of this happen to us?" Ethan looked at her, brushing a curl from her forehead. "Because sometimes the world tries to break the good things before they grow too strong to control." She nodded thoughtfully. "But we didn't break." "No," Ethan said. "We became unbreakable." Final lesson. Life sometimes throws impossible battles at ordinary people. But even in the darkest moments, when you don't know who you are or who to trust, the truth can still be found in love, sacrifice, and the will to protect those who matter most. Sometimes, the family we build is born not from blood, but from choice, pain, and courage, and the ones we least expect can become the world's greatest hope.